good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And now the good news. It is Friday evening, Friday afternoon, and I am so delighted to be here with you with a whole new series of stories that are heartening and exciting and interesting to listen to. Only good news. And most of it we get from the Good News Network or from Sunny Skies. So if you're looking for places until we get our constant here every night of the week. I'm dreaming about that actually. But for now, Friday night is the night. Well, let us begin with an interesting story. A couple turns Chick-fil-A points into heartwarming lunch for special needs community. Jay and Judy Brissy daily visit to Chick-fil-A has come a way to give back to their community. Over the past 8 years, the couple has amassed an impressive 202,000 reward points through their frequent visits to their popular fast food chain. But instead of redeeming these points for themselves, they decided to share the blessing with others this Thanksgiving. The Brissys used half of their reward points to provide a delicious lunch for the residents of the Burton Center, a local facility supporting individuals with disabilities and special needs. Truth be told, a lot of these individuals we're their families, said Mayada Gold, the center's day program assistant director. For Judy, a former teacher, the experience was especially emotional. She reconnected with some of her former students at the center, bringing back fond memories. I've gotten a little emotional because it brought back a lot of pleasant memories she shared. Jay reflected on the impact of the gesture. Some of them may not get to go to a Chick-fil-A at all. They may just see it on the commercial or something like that, he said. And the giving doesn't stop. With 101,000 points still remaining, the Brissys plan to bring meals to the Connie Maxwell Children's Home on December the 5th. That is a very sweet story. If you got all these points, share, share, share. And it's December, and that's kind of the season of sharing and giving and all that good stuff, right? All right, here's a beautiful story. I just love dogs. So this is a retired military dog is reunited with the Army handler after years apart, just in time for Thanksgiving. Great picture, eh? So in a lovely gesture during the week leading up to Thanksgiving, a retired military dog, Jakob, was reunited with his former U.S. Army Staff Sergeant and handler, Peyton May. Jakob and May served together for 9 months in Iraq and saw each other for the first time in years in San Antonio, Texas. The 8-year-old Belgian Malinois, I probably said that wrong, served as an explosives detection and patrol dog for nearly 7 years of his life, protecting his fellow service members, civilians, and even U.S. presidents. We're grateful for the opportunity to bring military working dog Jakob home and reunite him with his best friend, said Dr. Robin Ganzer, President and CEO of American Humane, the United States' first national humane organization with the world's largest certifier of animal welfare. American Humane is honored to help give this courageous canine the comfortable retirement he deserves after 7 years of distinguished service to our country. I'll tell you, when you think of animals and the work that they do, we don't always acknowledge how important that work is. And this is a prime example of a really, really important job and one that should be honored. Just like we honor men and women in the service, we need to honor these animals as well. All right, that is a fun story. Well, moving on, a cowboy on horseback, a hero, rescues a baby trapped in a sweltering car. Oh, sweltering cars. On a scorching August day in Nebraska, Edward Estrada became an unexpected hero when his quick thinking and intuition saved a baby trapped in a dangerously hot car. Estrada, a skilled roper from Bertrand, Nebraska, was preparing for a second round of a roping tournament at the Merritt County Fairgrounds when he heard faint cries. Initially mistaking the sound for goats, Estrada felt compelled to investigate further. Riding his trusted horse, FJ, he followed the sound to a parking lot where he found um, a baby locked inside a car with a barely cracked window. I just took action, Estrada recounted. Using a knife, he pried the window down, reached inside, opened the door. The baby was melting from the heat. He swiftly moved the child to an air-conditioned area and alerted on-site first responders. The baby, now reportedly thriving in a foster home, owes his survival or her survival to Estrada's instincts and decisive actions. Despite his bravery, Estrada humbly downplayed his role, stating, "I'm not a hero. I just had common sense that day." He added, "Just listen to your gut and trust your instincts." Whew. Estrada's act of courage didn't go unnoticed. He has been honored as part of the Heroes Game, a tradition recognizing outstanding individuals during the Nebraska-Iowa football game. His name will be inscribed on the Heroes Game trophy, and he will be celebrated on the field during halftime. That is a beautiful story. And just a reminder to all of us, number one, check your back seat before you get out. It's easy to forget that you have a dog or a child in the back. I know that's hard to believe, and then sometimes parents just get busy doing something else and think it's okay that the child stays in the car. So this man did a really great thing, because too often we hear of children who have died as a result. So excellent hero in our midst. Well, on that note, we're going to take a short commercial break, and then we will be right back with more good news here on the New Thought Media Network. Don't go away.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And now more good news, fun news, interesting news, and what could have been possibly disastrous news, but it's amazing how things can be transformed. A bride's venue burns down only for her big day to rise from the ashes. It took a village. What's the worst wedding day disaster you've ever heard? For Meredith Dietrich, a wedding venue that burns to the ground, and a hospitalized hair and makeup artist promised to ruin one of the most memorable days, and it all happened in an instant. On the morning of the wedding day, Three Notch Brewery, Distillery, and Craft Kitchen in Nelliesford, Virginia, burnt down with nothing but fragments of the timber frame left standing. Meredith's mother got the call from the venue organizer at 7 a.m. explaining what happened. Initially, she thought her mom was joking, but when she arrived to survey the damage, she had no clue even how to react. A video made by Meredith's sister captured the bride joking on TikTok that it was all typical wedding day, bleep, bleep. Simultaneously, Meredith's hair and makeup artist was admitted to the hospital for pregnancy-related health complications. This story just keeps getting better. My bridesmaids had stayed overnight with me, so I called them into the room and told them what had happened. We were all in shock for a few minutes, then started to laugh. I had thought, what else is there to do but laugh? I agree. Taking it all in stride and boosted by a team of dedicated bridesmaids, Meredith got to work calling all the guests and explaining what happened while the venue organizer at Three Notch began to contact other potential venues in the area to see if a space was available. The moment we got the confirmation for the new venue, we all got to work. Me, the bridesmaids, some family friends, my parents, and the staff at both venues all worked to put everything together as quickly as possible at our new location. 7 minutes down the street at Blue Toad Hard Cider. The effort to move all of the catering, flowers, table sets, and more took a village, but produced a beautiful, intimate wedding that rose like a phoenix from the ashes of a near disaster. It wasn't what was originally planned, but it turned into a day filled with deep love, meaningful moments, and memories they'll treasure forever. It was a testament to love and resilience. That's what I say. Just keep on smiling because there's always a way through it. Well, many of us have heard about bumblebees and how important they are to our life here on planet Earth. So this is a remarkable story. A Scottish field once home to monocrop barley has become a pollinator's paradise after intervention from a local trust saw bumblebees number increase 100-fold. Entitled Rewilding Denmark Field and run by the Bumblebee Conservation Trust, the project has seen a sharp increase in the number of species passing through the rolling meadows after they reclaimed by dozens of wildflower species. The area north of Perth is about 90 acres in size, and surveys of bumblebees before the project began rarely recorded more than 50. But by 2023, just 2 years of letting nature take the lead, that number has topped 4,000, with the number of different bee species doubling. This superb variety of plants attracts thousands of pollinators. Many of these plants, such as spear thistle and smoothhawk spirit, are sometimes branded as weeds, but they are all native species that are benefiting native wildlife in different areas. Due to intensive arable farming with decades of plowing, herbicide, and pesticide use, biodiversity was incredibly low when we started. Wildlife had largely been sanitized from the fields. Rewilding the site has had a remarkable benefit. Similar increases have been recorded in the populations of butterflies, with a tripling in their number of these insects seen on average during a ramble through the field. The numbers of both insects are now so high that Rewilding Denmark Field offers bee and butterfly safaris to visitors. That's pretty cool. Local residents told the Scotsman that on spring and summer days, the field is awash with color and hums with the sounds of bees and birds. Even as multiple housing developments expand around the area, the field is a haven for wildlife. And I've noticed here in Toronto that we have areas that were just, grass that got mowed all the time, and the city stopped mowing it and allowed wildflowers and stuff to just grow. And I'm hoping we're going to see an increase here as well. That is really good for our ecology. Okay, so I'm not so sure about this, but anyway, octopus tentacle suction cups could help dentures stick to the mouth. I don't know if that sounds all that great, but okay. Scientists have found a way to help dentures better stick to the mouth, which is a bigger problem than you may think, by mimicking the powerful suction cups found on octopus tentacles. Since 1 in every 10 users of dentures have trouble keeping them in place, they sometimes have to resort to various denture cements and adhesives to keep them in their mouth. These are as widely unpopular as they sound, with users claiming they are unhygienic, unpleasant, and change the taste of food. However, scientists from King's College London believe they have finally found an alternative to these products, one that is modeled on the octopus. The team from the KCL Faculty of Dentistry, Oral and Craniofacial Sciences explored how they could replicate the process that helps these animals to stick to slippery surfaces in the sea. Octopuses have suction cups on the underside of their tentacles, which creates a negative pressure vacuum that fixes them firmly to things like rocks. The team theorized that something similar could be done for dentures, allowing them to attach to the soft mucus of the mouth. For the first time ever, tiny suction cups have been designed into 3D printed dentures. Oh, phew, they're not taking octopus and putting it in there. Yay. Analysis of the model shows that these new dentures have twice the amount of retention as standard ones, but are thankfully not so strong that users cannot remove them from their mouths. Having worked with denture wearers who I often see in clinic for several years, I really wanted to improve their experiences, said lead author Dr. Sheriff. Well, we'll just keep it with Dr. Sheriff from King's College London. Octopus suckers seem like the perfect place to start. I first had the idea to replicate sticky surfaces on nature while biting into a peach. I noticed how the furry skin stuck to the palate of my mouth and decided to investigate other sticky surfaces in nature. Pardon me. By mimicking the ingenious adhesive strategies found in octopus suction cups, we have developed a prototype that offers improved grip and comfort in even the most demanding oral environments. It has always been popular in engineering and inventing to rely on inspiration from nature. This kind of biomimicry shows how many ready-made solutions can be found in nature. It's inspiring to see how insights from nature combined with cutting-edge manufacturing techniques can lead to innovations that improve both functionality and patient satisfaction. Woo! That is awesome. For anybody who has dentures, that has got to be something they'll be looking forward to. All right, so moving along in the science field here, scientists discover simple supplement that causes prostate cancer cells to self-destruct. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? Vitamin K is found in leafy greens and is crucial for blood coagulation and calcium synthesis in tissues, but also may cure prostate cancer. Not vitamin K specifically, but a precursor called menadione, which was found in a recent trial to interfere with the survival process of tumor cells and ultimately saw them explode. Prostate cancer is one of the most lethal in men, and while multiple treatments exist, there are some varieties that are both highly resistant and highly aggressive. In 2001, a trial of 35,000 patients was funded to try and find out if vitamin E, a potent antioxidant, could help treat prostate cancer. After just 3 years, however, it was found that more men taking the supplement started to get the disease. The trial organizers reasoned simply that if an antioxidant accelerated prostate cancer, could a pro-oxidant prevent it? Researchers at Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory tested menadione, a precursor to vitamin K, in mice. In the animal model, it was found that the menadione depleted a lipid which works like an ID tag. Without it, the tumor cells fail to continue to recycle incoming material. They eventually explode. It's like a transport hub like JFK. If everything that goes in is immediately de-identified, nobody knows where the airplane should go next. New stuff keeps coming in and the hub starts to swell. This ultimately leads to the cell bursting. Trotman would like to see the results replicated in men who receive an early cancer diagnosis. Our target group would be men who get biopsies and have an early form of the disease diagnosed. We wonder if they start to take the supplement, whether it would be able to slow that disease down. SciTech Daily reports that menadione may also be effective in slowing the progression of myotubular myopathy, a deadly birth defect in infant boys that prevents them from growing, eventually leading to death prior to childhood. So this could be an incredible scientific discovery. So let's just hope that this works out really well. It sounds very promising. Okay, so this is interesting. The oldest known alphabet unearthed in ancient Syria, predating all others by 500 years. Yes, 500 years. In Western Syria, archaeologists believe they have unearthed evidence of the earliest use of an alphabet in the world. The site was an important urban center in Syria and one of the first to ever pop up in the region. It's been under excavation for 16 years. It's one of the best preserved tombs, remarkably unlooted, dating from the early Bronze Age. 6 skeletons were found alongside grave goods and 4 small perforated clay cylinders. Stamped on the cylinders seems to be some form of Semitic alphabet, but carbon dating revealed the clay to be about 500 years older than the previous oldest recorded alphabet script. Alphabets revolutionized writing by making it accessible to people beyond royalty and the socially elite. Alphabetic writing changed the way people lived, how they thought, how they communicated. And this new discovery shows that people were experimenting with new communication technologies much earlier and in a different location than we had imagined before now. Previously, scholars thought the alphabet was invented in or around Egypt sometime after 1900 BCE. But our artifacts are older and from a different area on the map, suggesting the alphabet may have an entirely different origin story than we thought. You got to love archaeology, the things they discover. It's really, really remarkable. Okay, so spending time in the great outdoors helps children with mental health issues. You know, I really believe that, because when you're out in nature, everything just feels better, doesn't it? So it's new news, it's old news, it's news that can never be repeated too often. Spending time in nature reduces emotional stress among troubled 10 to 12-year-olds and beyond, I'm sure. The Canadian researchers behind the new study say their findings suggest that an inexpensive school-based nature-born program may help the most vulnerable youngsters. Canadian researchers discovered that spending 2 hours a week of class time in a natural environment can reduce emotional distress among child participants who had the most significant mental health problems before the program began. The research, published in journal JAMA Network Open, follows the recent publication of a UNICEF report pointing to the importance of green space for children's development. The Canadian team looked at the effects of spending time in nature on the behavior and mental health symptoms of more than 500 school children across Quebec in the spring of 2023. The idea of the project came up during the pandemic when people were worried about the health risks of children spending so much time, inside the school each day. They found that at the end of the 3-month period, teachers noticed that the biggest changes in behavior occurred in children with the most significant problems at the outset. They included anxiety and depression, aggressivity and impulsivity, and social problems relating to interaction with their peers. Interviewers with the teachers following the program also suggested that children were more calm, relaxed, and attentive in class after time spent in nature. This suggests that nature-based programs may offer targeted benefits for children with higher levels of mental health vulnerabilities and potentially act as an equalizer of mental health among school-aged children. The research builds on earlier observational studies, but is the first to use a randomized controlled trial, the gold standard of medical research, to provide concrete information about the benefits to children of spending time in nature. All the schools involved in the study were within a mile of a park or green space, and half of the children stayed in school, while a similar number of children took part in the nature-based intervention. My kids and I spent lots of times in parks, so I've seen the benefits of spending time in nature, both for myself and for them. So I thought maybe we can have a free and accessible intervention where school children can spend time in nature and we can measure the effects this has on their mood and behavior. This is a very exciting study because I think it's a way better choice than medication. I love that. Those Canadians, man. All right, here is a very sweet story to close off our evening. So, adoption approved for a couple with spina bifida who lovingly adopt daughter with the same condition. Larry and Kelly Peterson first met when they were just 10 years old at a spina bifida camp where they discovered they were born on the same day. After dating in high school, they lost contact for 10 years, but they reconnected on social media and fell back in love. In 2015, the Indiana couple got married and decided to pursue adoption so they could raise a family. Although Kelly, who isn't able to give birth to a biological child, was once told that her disability might also prevent her from adopting, she and Larry never gave up. Through a special needs adoption agency, they discovered baby Hadley's story and knew they could offer her the love, support, and understanding she needed. This July, not only did Larry and Kelly celebrate their 9th wedding anniversary, they marked 5 years since they expanded their family by adopting the baby girl who, like them, has spina bifida. Thanks to Special Angels Adoption, the Petersons got their daughter. The couple knew they were ready to parent Hadley because of their deep understanding of the issues she is facing and will face in the future. So far, parenting has been both joyous and challenging. They both basked in the happiness of seeing her personality develop and watching her hit milestones. Even though Kelly has extensive experience with children with disabilities due to being a special education teacher for over 20 years, being a parent is a whole different ballgame. I can attest to that. They're learning to adapt to parenting from their wheelchairs. Kelly has no use of her legs, but Larry can walk while holding on to things. So they figure out ways to care for their daughter without exceeding their physical limits, with a little help from their families who live nearby. Now the couple wants to be a resource for other adults with spina bifida who are hoping to adopt. They want to help alleviate stigma and negative stereotypes regarding disability and parenting, and also be available to any parents who recently received a spina bifida diagnosis in their family. This is a really beautiful thing. They run a Facebook page called Journey Down a Country Road, Spina Bifida plus Adoption equals Our Family. So check out that Facebook page. It just might be the resource that you're looking for. Well, that's it for this Friday, December 6th, as we hop into the holiday season and get ready for all of the turkey and trimmings that are to come. But in the meantime, just know there's plenty of good news, and all we have to do is focus our attention there. Thank you for watching. I'm Barbara Jean. This has been the Good News on the New Thought Media Network. We'll be back again next week with more good news. Keep watching and be sure to share, to like, and to subscribe. And think about donating to the New Thought Media Network. Let's keep this network rolling. Have a wonderful weekend. Many blessings.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network. Come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.